Hello everyone, nubkeks here, welcome back to Nubraids, and today I want to show you my guide on how to build your Ronda, the new free login legendary in Raid Shadow Legends. She is a limited time champion, so same as Ninja guys, which means that I think after February, you won't be able to get her ever again. I have heard some rumblings that there could be events and stuff on for new players, maybe up until midway through next year, but I think after that then, she's certainly going to be gone forever. You'll still have her if you get her right now, but you won't be able to earn her in the future. Anyway, let's dive in. Let's look at her. So we actually built her up today in my CVC stream. If you're new to the channel, I do invite you guys as well to subscribe. I do loads of videos here, and we actually stream on the channel right here every CVC. So that's every 2 weeks on Tuesday mornings, depending on time zone. We built her up there, and I was actually really impressed. This champion I thought was going to be good. She actually ended up being much stronger than I expected, actually. So what's a very pleasant surprise. We'll take a little look at her here. I do have her booked up, and having tested her out, I actually do think on a new player, on a new account, I do think this is a good place to spend your legendary bucks. I think you're going to be using this champion nearly everywhere for a very long time, so I think she is worth the investment. Flaming Flurry, her A1, is a triple hitter that does an extra hit, so a 4 hitter if the target has less than 50% HP after the third hit. This actually does a lot of damage. It's one of the things we're going to see throughout her kit. Her AoE damage is good, but really it's in single target that this champion is really, really strong. So this does a lot of single target damage. Her A2 is a single target attack as well, also a triple hitter that ignores shields and 30% of the target's defense. That's what makes this hit so hard. It is her hardest hitting single target move. It's stronger than the 4-hit A1 even. It will place block passive skills for 2 turns before attacking that cannot be resisted, and then it puts block active skills for 2 turns after attacking that cannot be resisted. So pretty solid move. Obviously, Ultimate Death Knight, the previous login legendary, is a real threat to people in the arena. Now, she's the bad affinity, so she's going to struggle to do good damage to him. It's a bit of a dice roll. If she weak hits, she's not going to hit that hard. But you do get 3 chances. At least, though, the block passive skills will go on no matter what, so it gives you a way to disable his passive. Very unique skill. Only Romantu has it otherwise, and he's a champion. It's the final mission reward. It probably takes you like 2 years probably of playing the game to get Romantu, so it's a pretty big deal to get this, like on a new account, for example. Her A3 then, Fury Tremor, 4-turn cooldown when booked, long cooldown, attacks all enemies 2 times, damage increases by 30% if this champion is more than 50% HP, and then it's got a nice passive that reduces the effective turn meter stuff. And then her passive ability is actually very good. It gives her a shield at the start of the fight. Now that's not super strong, like sneak preview here. I have her built with about, let's say 30,000 HP. She's going to get about 15,000 shield. Like, she's really not going to be very tanky with that. But, you know, it's something, right? It's something. This bit, though, is actually really good. 15% chance to join an attack whenever an ally attacks an enemy. And she always attacks with her default skill. What makes this so strong is that, unlike counterattack, which actually has damage penalty, she does her full damage when she joins in. So this can absolutely destroy people when it procs. It's a low chance, there's a lot of luck involved, but when this procs, and it will proc, it's very powerful. And then she's got a good attack aura in all battles. So in terms of how I've built her, this is an endgame type build. I think there's multiple ways to go here, and with the Masteries as well. So I've put her in Savage. You would have got some Savage gear during the Ronda chase. This is her best gear set, but you don't necessarily want to put her into Savage. Or Lethal also does the same thing, but it's very hard to get that. That's from Doom Tower. Yeah, so you only want to put her in this if you can get the right stats, right? If we look at her stats over here, there are 4 stats that we really care about, and 3 of those in particular. The 3 most important. Crit rate is most important. She needs 100% crit rate. Attack to make her hit harder, and then crit damage. You want to sort of increase both of those kind of similar to similar levels, right? Kind of increase them both equally, as it were. And then the 4th thing that we care about is speed. So this is a fairly late game build. This is for late game arena, where we're trying to crank her damage as high as possible, and we can let her be slower because we've got crowd control champions or support champions to keep her alive so that she can actually get that damage off, okay? If you are earlier in the game, what are you going to want to do? Like, if you're a brand new player, how do you build her? Pretty simple. Your priority is to get all of the crit rate, 100% crit rate. Then after that, just try to get some damage out, but it's going to be much, much lower and should be much squishier, and that's okay. An early game, I'd be trying to get her up to 170 speed, pretty soon. After even playing the game for 2 or 3 weeks, you should be able to get her up to 170 speed with 100% crit rate and a little bit of damage. When you get a bit further on, you're going to be trying to crank her crit damage up a lot using crit damage gloves instead of crit rate gloves, and same sort of thing. And then I would say sort of mid-game, for a typical player, you're probably going to want her to be around 200 speed, where she's going to be very good for a lot of Doom Tower bosses, dungeon bosses, and so on. Then when you go super late game, it's like ditch the speed boots and put her in attack boots and let her just hit really hard, okay? That's basically what we're going to do. So you can see if I show you the gear, what I've kind of gone for, stuff with attack percent and crit damage, really. Crit rate as well. This is okay. Unfortunately, right here, 2 rolls and accuracy, not very good. Right, crit damage gauntlets, and that's where we're trying to pick up the crit rate in the substat rolls. That can be very difficult. Actually, let's glyph this up. Make her hit harder. I'll just give her a 5 stars, fine. Here we go. Throw some glyphs on this. It's a bit more attack right there for her. Why not? Attack percentage chest, again with crit rate, crit damage. It's only blue, so you could get legendary. It would have more stats, And then attack percentage boots is what I've gone for. If you are earlier game, you want to go for speed boots. And typically you're going to be looking for speed boots, preferably with some crit rate, maybe crit damage or attack on them, whatever you can get. For her accessories, you're going to want an attack ring with attack percent. You're going to want a crit damage necklace, preferably with attack on it. And then you're going to want an attack banner with attack percent and speed, most likely. Some sort of combinations of those. Obviously, the more rolls you've got into the good stats I mentioned, the better she's going to be. So you could get her even stronger than this. Ooh, we didn't quite make 6,000 attack. That's okay. But yeah, that's basically how I would build her with gear. Now, for Masteries, again, there's 2 really big different ways you can go. Let me move me out of the way. Your big choice down here is Giant Slayer or Helm Smasher. So for a late game build, Helm Smasher is the way to go. 50% chance to ignore 25% of the target's defense. This will help you do a lot more damage in the arena. And this works particularly well with her A2, which is already ignoring defense. You stack that together, it becomes really strong. Now, this is not your ideal option, though, probably for most new players, right? Most new players, and by new players, I'm kind of meaning here anyone within, let's say, the first, year of the game, probably, right? In that case, Giant Slayer, I think, is going to be your better choice if you are using her anywhere outside of the arena and faction wars, okay? So if you're using her for Doom Tower bosses, for the clan boss, if you use her in Hydra, if you use her for any dungeons, Giant Slayer is the way to go. It's very similar to War Master, and hopefully you know how good War Master is. Giant Slayer becomes the better mastery when you've got attacks with 3 hits, okay? And Ronda has a 3-hit A1 and A2, potentially even a 4-hit A1. So Giant Slayer is going to give her a lot of damage against bosses, and that's where you're going to want to go. Actually, let me get up a thing. Okay, here we go. So again, if I look at this one, this is our arena nuking build. So we're going to do more damage to shields. We're going to do more damage on the first hit. We're going to get more damage to targets that are crowd controlled, because we're going to build her slow to avoid reaction accessories and hopefully some stone skin. And yeah, more damage with debuffs. We're going to go into kill streak. We're grabbing Helm Smasher, right? Now, if we're building her for early game and we're going to want to do dungeons, I'd be grabbing the crit rate, grabbing crit damage. I'd be going in and grabbing Life Drinker so she can heal. More damage to low health targets, more damage to high HP targets. Wrath of the Slain or Cycle of Violence are both good. I'd probably be going for Cycle of Violence because she's going to proc it quite a bit. I'd be getting her Methodical. I would be getting her Kill Streak and then going into Giant Slayer. So boom, this is where we're going to go. I think we're probably going to grab Heart of Glory as well. If you're using her in an unkillable clan boss team, you can give her Grim Resolve. But this is a flexible slot. You can kind of go either which way. We're going to get her defense, less damage from AoE, chance to remove debuffs, delay death over here, and then we'll give her a chance to counterattack as well. And then I will probably grab her that Heart of Glory. Kind of works well, seeing as she wants to be high health with her AoE anyway. And that's how I would build her if I was using her in clan boss stuff. So she's going to do some counterattacks. She has the Giant Slayer damage. Her A1 is really going to scale up well, methodical. So I think that's the build most people will probably go for. Like I said, I'm going for this build because I want her more late game, and she's still going to be strong. And the dungeon performance is actually going to be pretty similar. Like better gear that I have will sort of compensate in a sense for not running Giant Slayer for the dungeons. Let's go do some arena fights and let's see what we can do. Here we go. One thing we have to watch out for is being outsped. So we're going up Arbiter. Okay, it's hard for me to simulate early game, guys. It just is because we're not going to be fighting early game opponents, but this is just gold 5, right? So it shouldn't be anything too crazy. We might get outsped. I don't usually use a speed team, so I haven't actually built my Arbiter with crazy speed. Not a big priority. We hopefully will be faster. We're slightly faster. So here we go. We're going to go in. Arbiter boosts up, gives us increased attack. One great thing with Ronda there, she did get hit by Arbiter. A lot of champions in Arena might run a Mastery, the Evil Eye Mastery that pushes your turn meter back. That won't work against Ronda because of the passive on her A3. So we've gone in, we boosted our turn meter, we increased our attack, and Romantu removed their buffs. You could use someone like... we could use someone more free to play. That's earlier game. You could use Rian the Conjurer from Doom Tower. That's quite far into the game. Or if you pulled a Madame Ceres, you could just use a decreased defense champion, just in general, like War Maiden instead. It's important for us to bring a buff stripper at later game. We throw in a stun there, stop the enemy taking their turn. We can come in and we can just A1 Arbiter. Unfortunately, we didn't get a bonus attack here from Ronda, and now she's going to come in and she's going to do her thing. Doesn't even need the double hit there. She just ripped through this team. So very squishy team we ripped through. I mean, we'll just attack these guys for fun. Just for fun, right? It should be basically the exact same thing, but here we've got... who do we have? We've got Ninja and Syl of the Drakes, right? So two of the free-to-play players' best friends. Will Ronda do her extra attack? She's not doing it yet. That's okay. So we're sort of waiting through the turns, and boom, Ronda goes in. Syl lives through that, and they get taken down. So there you go. We can even switch up the team. Let's see. Ooh, Helicats. Okay, interesting. So if we switch up the team, let's go for like a slightly earlier game thing. Let's say you've got Mighty Uko. We're going to want... it's going to be a bit awkward, right? Helicat's going to put up block damage. That's really going to mess us up. So we could put in somebody like... where is Ugo? Here's Ugo. I think that one's a bit slow. This one's a bit faster. Lovely. We'll go with that. And then who might we use earlier game? I don't know. Let's just go in with 3. It's fine. It's fine. Should be, I hope. So here... we are obviously vulnerable to Ronda being beaten up because we don't have really any protection for her. So she might die. I'm a little bit worried. We're going to go in. Ugo is going to put decreased defense. We're going to block buffs because he's going to take about 8 different counterattacks here. It's going to take a while. But these Helicats can put up block damage and big shields and be a real pain. We don't want to deal with that. So we've actually just blocked both of them. So that's cool. Yeah, you know what? Let's hit Shamail. Let's just push his turn meter back. There's that decreased turn meter mastery I was talking about. And then Ronda can come in and boom, just blow them up and they're dead, right? So that's with decreased defense. She really starts to hit super hard. Okay then, jumping into a dungeon. I've tried to put together like a reasonable-ish sort of team. We've got a couple of awakened stages on these champions. They are just rares though. But we're going to bring in Ronda, and that attack aura is going to be great, up our damage. She's going to smash through the damage, going to be fantastic. We're going to bring in War Maiden for decreased defense. We're going to bring in a Frozen Banshee to help us kill the dragon, and we can see sort of how they compare, Frozen Banshee versus Ronda. We're going to bring in, I can't remember his name, Gear Grinder for some healing and a revive. I don't know if he's going to be good enough. We'll find out. And then a Pathfinder Kate, who's going to hopefully lock out some of the enemy skills. We've got stun sets on both of these champions, so there's a bit of crowd control there. It's only stage 20 of Dragon, but this should give you a good sort of idea for the sort of stuff that Ronda's going to do. You know, she'll have a bit of protection from her shield as well. We shall see. So we're going to decrease defense. You can see stun set. We've stunned one of the Hordens. We go in, we stunned another one. We locked out some of their skills. Big hits there from Ronda. That was her passive actually joining in, and she just deleted somebody. Again, that's with the level of gear that I have on. With worse gear, you wouldn't do quite so much. We take one hit, but we should be able to heal up just fine with Gear Grinder. And Ronda's going to go punch some dudes to death. And you can see sort of her power there with that decreased defense out. She can do just absolutely huge amount of damage once you get the gear. She goes in with the A2. It's a triple hitter. She only needed 2 hits to actually kill them. Pretty brutal stuff. We got some big hits going in. We've lost one. We didn't lose the second one, luckily. She didn't get crit. That crit absolutely destroyed us. Bam, bam. 2 punches from Ronda, and the guy is down. Again, she can do up to 3. We've locked out some of their abilities. Stun set is not being kind to us. We don't have increased attack with this team, but boom, Ronda comes back for the AoE and rips through. So not too bad. So 1 minute, we're on to the dragon. With this team, you know, Seal of the Drakes, we've already seen Seal today, right? Seal of the Drakes, your login legendary, she can come in and replace Gear Grinder and be way better. You could bring in something with increased attack, right? That would boost Ronda's damage, and that would be much, much better. But there she goes in with the punches, doing, you know, about 25k per hit. It's adding up. The poisons are on from Frozen Banshee. That's going to do a lot of damage as well. There goes Ronda's passive, and in and punch, punch, punch. She just starts punching, starts laying into him. I think that was just her A1 there, just going off. Does good damage. We get the revive off. So you can see Ronda very clearly, she's very squishy, right? We haven't built her with any survivability. Boom, she goes in with the A2 and it just does massive amounts of damage. She's done a counter attack there. It doesn't do quite as much damage as the ally attack, but it all sort of adds up. And this is certainly getting a bit sketchy looking towards the end, but we're going to be just fine. Now you can see Ronda's A1. Here it goes. Boom, 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 boom. Quad punch. She's doing 4 punches at once. Unfortunately, she does have decreased attack on, which is reducing her damage. But it gives her a real feeling. I think they really well captured that feeling of you know, MMA and punching and all of that. Boom, she goes in with the punches at the end. And there you go. You can see at the end of this run, Ronda, she doesn't have increased attack, but she's really pumping out the damage. She's absolutely slamming, doing great, great work. If you had Giant Slayer on, she would do way more. She'd be slightly worse at the waves, right? But not too much worse. And she'd do quite a lot more damage against the dragon. Frozen Banshee with the poisons, really doing a lot of damage against the dragon. And we're able to make it through. Again, you'd be better off if you replace Kate and Gear Grinder with better champions. These 2 champs are actually quite good for dragon. But, you know, just to give you an idea for that early game build and what Ronda can do, that sort of damage level, she can absolutely bring it and slam through. In fact, let me throw together a team here for... She's not good affinity for stage 25. Let's try stage 24. Let's actually do exactly that. Let's bring in some better champions. So let's throw in Seal of the Drakes. I think is a good one. Where is Seal? There's Seal. Put in Seal of the Drakes. Who do we get as a guaranteed sort of champ that is good for crowd control? There's not too many. Let's put in one of my favorite champs. You might tell by the channel icon. And I've stopped using him in Faction Wars now, which is really depressing because I got better stuff now. But put in our boy Archmage Helmet, absolute beast. So Archmage, he's going to come in. He's got a stun on his A2. Seal of the Drakes, she's coming in. Guess what? She's got stuns here and she's healing us. So should be everything we need to sort of keep us alive. Let's see how we go. So Dragon Stage 24, better champions in. You'll see the difference. The key, though, is that Ronda is still going to be key for damage. I also realized that War Maiden is the wrong affinity. My bad. So War Maiden is not going to be able to successfully decrease defense, everybody. So let's see how it goes. Boom. Big hit comes in from Ronda. So you can see she's doing good damage, but not crazy damage. Do we want to bring in an increased attack? It's not essential, but it would up the speed of the run. I think we're fine. She can do it without increased attack. If you brought in somebody that did give her increased attack, though, you would see more damage. I didn't realize until we went into the run that I had forgotten. But look at that. You can see how much safer this is due to, basically due to the stuns that are coming out from these champions, right? They're just not getting a look in, which is kind of sad. Let's bring in. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let's switch it up. I think it would be more fun and see if she can solo the boss. Let's get rid of Frozen Banshee. You see how she works. Who will do increased attack? Yoshi. What speed is Yoshi? He's pretty slow. Yeah. Okay, that will do. Let's bring in Yoshi. The HP burn will help against the boss as well. He is bad affinity, but hey, it doesn't matter. Brings more crowd control too. I have Yoshi built in Stone Skin. I don't know if I super like it. I don't really have a team to use him with. I used to build him really fast for Doom Tower. I might switch him back. Anyway, we come in. Weak hits galore for War Maiden. That feels a bit bad. There we go. What we could do, actually, let's improve it even more. Let's improve it even more. You're going to be absolutely pulling your hair out now at this point. You're saying, let us watch, nubkeks. We want to see. Let's put her in with another great champion. Let's put her in with a good affinity for this. Duck the Pierced. How about that? Duck the Pierced. Where is Duck? Duck does good damage as well. Let's put in Seeker, who's an epic. And let's put in Duck. I can't find Duck. I'm blind. Blind as a duck. I think that's the phrase, isn't it? Is he awakened, maybe? Is he ascended? He is. Okay. That's fine. He's not too awakened. That's cool. Okay, let's go. So, attempt number 3. Let's do it. What we have going on here, we're going to bring in increased attack from Seeker. And he's going to be filling our turn meter. Actually, very like Arbiter. He's going to bring some provokes too. Our sole source of damage here really is Ronda. Duck the Pierced. Look at this now. Boom, boom. You can see the difference in the amount of damage that she's doing. She is hitting much harder now with increased attack. In fact, what is it? 50% increased attack, or is it 60%? I actually don't remember, which is shocking. But however much it is, that's how much more damage she's doing. Quite a lot. Absolutely destroys that guy with her A2. She's got way overkill damage. Boom, boom, boom. You can see that 4-hitter A1. All the punches coming in, and she just rips on through. So again, with this team, what we're trying to do, and you could run this team in Doom Tower, and it would work really well. We've got Duck the Pierce bringing us some provokes and decreased defense and decreased attack as well. Really good. Look at that. Ronda just pumping out the damage like crazy. She's going in again. Watch this. Maybe not. Oh, it pocked her passive because of the shield. I saw the passive name. I thought I was being clever. Not quite. You'll see a little preview when she's going to go in. It will say in your corner. When she's about to go do something cool. Here we go. She's going in. Oh, just absolute destruction. So much damage. And then she goes in with the AoE and ripping through. We've got, like I said, stuns from Archmage. We've got stuns from Syl. Got provokes from him. We potentially have provokes from Seeker. I don't think he's really landed any though. And yeah, then all the damage is coming from her. So we're not getting through crazy fast because we're bringing a lot of control. Man, look at that A2. It hits so hard. That is the Savage set combining with that. You could put her in something like Toxic set as well if you're using her for Clan Boss, and she's going to do great damage. Like I said, you run her in Giant Slayer, she's going to kill this dragon much faster. So we're going to have a bit of a tough time killing this dragon, guys. It's going to be a little bit slow because we don't have poisons in there. We swapped out Frozen Banshee to really see Ronda do her thing and solo carry this, as it were. But we should absolutely be able to do it. You would have to pull, of course, Seeker and Duck from Shards. There's other champions that could do similar things. Any increased attack champion is basically doing what Seeker is doing here. And then any decreased defense champion, they haven't even hit us. I think this is the first time we're going to be hit, right? So this is the first time decreased attack matters. So you could bring in any sort of decreased defense champ in place of Duck. That's not bad affinity for this stage, and you'd be okay as well. So yeah, there you are. You get Syl from 6 months in. You'll probably get Archmage maybe a little bit before Syl, or somewhere around the same time from Doom Tower normal. Not sure exactly which one you get first. And then you can see Ronda's damage really starts to scale up here, especially whenever that passive procs and she joins in on an attack, and that A1 doing that extra hit now every time she hits. Imagine Giant Slayer procs in there. We'll see a War Master proc. You can see the War Master proc right there, doing about 69,000 on War Master. So Giant Slayer is a bit less. It might be, I don't know, 50,000 or something. But you imagine like 1 or 2 ticks of 50,000 damage extra every time Ronda attacks. That's what Giant Slayer is doing for you. So yeah, there you go. Look, I think that pretty much covers most of it. You get to see the gist. Let's finish this off, and I'll show you Faction Wars because that was really fun from the stream earlier today. But that is the core of how to build Ronda and what she can do. So it's not the fastest clear here of stage 24, but you can see Ronda is really doing nearly all the damage. We do have War Master damage from the others, which is contributing, and it is useful, but it's really Ronda who's carrying the show. If we dive into this, there's nubkeks from the past. This was the run we did on Faction Wars. I thought this was just really fun. So you can see some like end game people exploding. It's really bad quality because I downloaded the VOD off YouTube, and apparently that doesn't really work well. So there you go. You can see Ronda goes in with her passive, blows somebody up in one hit, and then with her with her A3, her AoE just destroys everyone else, and she's just destroying them. It's absolute slaughter. It's carnage from Ronda. She just one-shots one of the enemies with her A2. Like, the damage this champion puts out is just insane. It is just insane. Unfortunately, I can't show this to you live because we used up all of the Faction War keys by accident while we were on the stream, which was kind of silly. So for this one, because I'm trying to speed clear this fight, I'm going to target the boss. We're going to try bring him down. And you can see similar ideas with this team. We've got increased attack from Ursula. We've got decreased defense from Stag Knight. We've got Ronda for and then we've got 3 champions for damage, right? Because we're trying to speedrun Faction Wars. We have 3 legendary champions, Staltus and Baron. And I thought the really fun thing about this is that Ronda and Baron are in almost the same level of gear. The only difference is that Ronda has about 5 more speed or something like that. I can show you. But I was just so impressed with her and the damage she was putting out. Like, look at that. It's just absolutely nuts, guys. She's coming in. Baron does have a better aura. I should have used that, but we wanted for the Ronda showcase not to. She actually doubled Baron's damage, which was kind of nuts, right? Actually insane. Some of that's coming down to waves and stuff, but nonetheless, really impressive. This champion is the real deal. And just to put it in context, like Baron can hit harder with his nuke, right? But Baron is also in Savage, and he is coming in with, again, about 6k attack, about 250% crit damage. And Ronda really put on a good show. She's coming in with about 6k attack, a little bit more crit damage, but very similar. And she was able to come in and do a really similar job. So there you go, guys. Ronda, is this champion good? The answer is yes. I think she's actually incredible, really strong, a really viable late game champion. Maybe not super end game, but late game, definitely a very strong nuker. But definitely for the early, the mid game players, the newer players that are logging in, and this is a new legendary for your account, she is like so good. She's so good. Build her something like this. You could throw her also alternatively into like Toxic and Speed Tuner to a clan boss team if you want to do that. I really think that she's worth the bucks. I think it speaks for itself. And these are the masteries for nuking. Switch them up if you want to go for more dungeon focus. Go Giant Slayer. The rest of it can stay the same even. But Giant Slayer you do want for dungeons. Guys, look, there you go. That is Ronda. Let me know what you think about her. Thank you for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.